Carol, you want to come over here? First of all, I'd like to say thank you for being here today. We would like to provide you with some information that you're already aware of, but also provide you with some additional information as it pertains to this case. Yesterday, shortly before 3 p.m., a father, Mr. Garcia, picked up his two children at school, a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. He entered the interstate at Rio Grande and I-40, headed westbound. As the vehicle proceeded westbound, some type of incident happened. It's unclear still what that incident was, other than the fact it was a road rage that resulted in murder. According to our witnesses, we are now looking for a newer model Toyota, 2014 or 2015 year model, possibly a Camry or a Corolla. It is either maroon or dark red in color and is a 4-door vehicle. The vehicle also has an air spoiler on the trunk and dark tinted windows. We will also confirm that it did have a University of New Mexico license plate on the vehicle. We know that the little girl and her 7-year-old brother were in the back seat of the red truck that the dad was driving. We do have the following suspect information: possibly Hispanic, in his 20s or 30s. He had a thin goatee, a thin face, a soft jaw, and of average build. He was wearing a black shirt with either gold or yellow writing on it. As the vehicles proceeded westbound on Interstate 40, shots were fired into the truck, the red truck. The father, recognizing that he did in fact hear shots, saw that his daughter was bleeding, pulled to the edge of the road, and tried to administer first aid. Some of the vehicles that you saw yesterday at the roadside were actually people who witnessed the incident or stopped because they saw what seemed to be a horrific incident. 2 of those people who did stop were nurses, and they were able to help render care to little Lily. Lily was transported to the University of New Mexico Hospital, where she died. I want to thank everybody who called in with what we consider to be credible and very valuable tips. More than a dozen leads have helped us put this information together. A passerby who was in Gallup stopped, contacted the New Mexico State Police as a result of what was aired on television last night, and he has now been identified as one of our credible and valuable witnesses. This is how our community operates, and we do everything we can to support those who are grieving. Many people have reached out to us. At this time, I would like to just acknowledge the great work of the many agencies that are assisting the Albuquerque Police Department, and I would like to acknowledge the off-duty Bernalillo County Sheriff's Deputy who stopped at roadside to help render aid. Also included in the investigation is APD Violent Crimes detectives who have not stopped or slept. They continue to work this case. Every officer in law enforcement in New Mexico is currently looking for the vehicle I have described. I would also like to thank the New Mexico State Police, the United States Marshal Service, the New Mexico Department of Corrections, their fugitive team, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department, as well as our counterparts at the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who is assisting with the investigation. I would like to remind everybody that this is a horrific time for this family. The tragic loss of little 4-year-old Lily well before her time. But our commitment to the family and to our community is that we will catch this guy. We won't give up until he is found. I would also like to announce the following rewards. The mayor's office has added $10,000 to the reward, as well as our city council has now added $10,000 in reward. And here to speak on the behalf of the Albuquerque Office of the Federal Bureau of Investigation is Special Agent in Charge Carol Lee.
Thank you, Chief. On behalf of the entire Federal Bureau of Investigation, I would like to offer our condolences on the death of little Lily Garcia. We are not only working closely with the Albuquerque Police Department, but we have also opened our own investigation. This means the FBI will use any and all means and methods at our disposal to find the individual who shot Lily, no matter how long it takes. We also would like to announce the FBI is offering an additional $5,000 reward, in addition to what Chief Eden just announced, for the information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible for this killing. Chief Eden, the men and women of the FBI join you in your determination to find this shooter. We need to work together with the community to stop this senseless violence.
Thank you, Carol. I would also like to say that Daniel's Family Funeral Services has contacted the family and has offered to the family a free burial. That's exactly what Albuquerque is all about. We would ask that if people have tips, please do not call 911, to continue to use 242 COPS as your avenue to provide us with tips. We believe that the information that we have provided today is solid information, and we believe that there are many people out there that may have seen something but are not coming forward. We are hoping that the reward will encourage those people to come forward with additional information and provide it to us. And again, I want to thank the media. Your prompt reporting last night on the news has led to many, many of these leads. Your willingness to take significant airtime to cover this story has been very beneficial to our detectives. I was talking to the sergeant in charge of homicide, and she told me just a minute ago that we have never seen such valuable information come to us that we consider not only to be credible, but extremely valuable. So again, thank you to the members of the press for your assistance. I will now take questions.
Chief, the off-duty deputy who came upon the car, did he witness the accident? Did he witness it?
No, he did not. What he did is he saw a vehicle on the side of the road and what appeared to be some type of a medical emergency and stopped.
Chief, how many shots were fired into the car approximately?
The search warrant is still being executed on the red pickup truck. That number is not known yet at this time.
But you believe it to be more than one? A lot of us have seen the bullet hole in the back.
The information that we received from the father was that he heard multiple shots.
Chief, any idea what might have instigated this road rage incident? We're hearing conflicting reports as to who might have started this whole episode.
As you have received conflicting reports, so have we. And that will continue to be part of the investigation. Our focus right now is to capture the individual that is responsible for killing Lily.
Chief, have you been able to speak to Lily's parents about what happened yet? And if so, how are they doing?
I have not had that opportunity, but I will take that opportunity. There is a right time for us to do that. I will tell you that our chaplains were with them last night. Our chaplains from the Albuquerque Police Department was with the family last night, and they have remained in contact with them today.
Have officers and investigators been able to get their account of events yet?
Yes, they have.
What did they say happened? Can you walk us through it?
I have to be very cautious in what they have said, and let me explain to you why. Is we still believe that there are people that are out there that are witnesses, and if we were to reveal too much information, it may cause them to doubt exactly what they saw. So we want them to have clarity of memory of what they may have seen.
Chief, is there any indication that Mr. Garcia had a gun, showed a gun, anything like that?
Not to my knowledge. And I saw...
Chief, any indication that these two knew each other at all?
That's part of the investigation, but we do not have any indication of that right now.
Chief, do we know if the suspect was alone?
The only information we have from multiple witnesses was it was a person, and that person is described as a Hispanic, 20 years of age to early 30s, with a thin goatee, a thin face, a soft jaw, and average build.
Do you still think he's in the Albuquerque area?
You know, that's one of those things that's very difficult to say yes or no. Now that this has become a fugitive case, sometimes they do try to flee the jurisdiction. That's why we're so grateful for the efforts of the FBI and them opening up their own case, as well as the assistance of the United States Marshal Service. If the person flees beyond the boundaries of the Albuquerque Police Department, we have the support. We do not know, but this information has been sent out nationwide through the various law enforcement networks. There was a hand over here. Yes.
Do you have any other details, like maybe how fast they were going, things that could help us start to understand the events?
We don't. We don't have any information. You know, we've received conflicting information that there wasn't a lot of traffic, that the traffic was heavy. And again, that's why our detectives spend so much time interviewing each and every one of these witnesses to find out so we can help resolve the conflicts between the witness information.
Chief, can we speak to what charges say we find?
Thompson, she is our sergeant over our violent crimes and homicide unit. Sergeant?
Thank you. So with what we know currently, there would be a charge of murder, child abuse. There would be charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon regarding the father and the 7-year-old that survived. That would be at a minimum.
Mom was or was not in the vehicle?
Mom was not in the vehicle.
Has the 7-year-old been interviewed yet?
We've interviewed everybody that was involved.
How is he? You know, the brother. I mean, I'm sure he saw something that was very traumatic.
I would say that, as would be expected, this family is very traumatized.
Chief, could I ask, last night you were pretty candid that the witness accounts of the suspect's vehicle were all over the place, different colors, different number of doors. Is it fair to say that the sort of detailed description that you have now, including the license plate and what the guy looks like, is that from the family mostly, or is that from other passerbys who've come forward, or a combination of both?
It was actually, the information was the result of what we call the credible and valuable information we received from tips, from witnesses that have been interviewed. Yes, and again, as I told you last night, one of the problems we were having, and I think some of you saw that in some of the interviews that you may have had, we had everything from an SUV to a white car, possibly a silver vehicle, to a red car. So last night at 6:30, which was the last time we met with you, the information had not gotten out yet as far as us asking for the community to help. And again, as a result of the tips that came in through 242 cops, our detectives were able to, I don't want to say gain consensus, but they were able to get enough information from those credible witnesses that it in fact was a brand new, or appeared to be a brand new, either maroon or dark red 2014, 2015 Toyota Corolla or a Camry, four-door. And that was the other thing last night. We were getting conflicting information whether or not it was a two-door or a four-door. But our witnesses have been very clear and pretty concise about the UNM license plate, which is a pretty distinct plate.
I guess I was just wondering how much the dad remembers specifically about, you imagine the adrenaline if you're involved in a road rage incident of any type. I mean, is a lot of this information coming from him?
No.
Okay.
No. A lot of the information is coming from us broadcasting this situation out and then the tips that came in.
Chief,
Chief,
that's a
given
pretty
the fact that you
distinctive
know the
car.
license plate is a Lobo license plate, given the fact you know some of the digits and you know this vehicle, have you been able to narrow that down? I mean, it seems like you would be able to go with DMV and say, hey, there's this specific group of cars that fit this.
Your assumptions are sound, but again, nobody got us plate numbers. What they remembered was it was distinctly a University of New Mexico license plate. That's part of our investigation, is working with the New Mexico Motor Vehicle Division to try and narrow down if there are any vehicles like this, the year, make, and model with a UNM plate. That's still all in progress.
Have you all gone to any car dealerships and asked them if they've sold a car like this recently?
Our investigators are doing canvassing just about everywhere we can.
Chief, the bullets when they shot, do they go toward the residential area there on I-40 where they're toward the main?
That's still all part of the investigation. I will say this, and I feel comfortable saying this, is we made the absolute right decision last night to shut down Interstate 40 westbound. And as a result of that, our forensic investigators were able to recover what we consider to be very valuable evidence. I will not get into what type of evidence we were able to recover. Again, it's important for us to hear from other witnesses exactly what they may have seen.
What specifically will the FBI's investigation entail in this case?
A lot of assistance, but we also have in 2013, the Investigative Assistance for Violent Crimes Act was passed, and this gives us the ability to assist in these impact cases of violence that are occurring.
By providing agents? By in what way assisting?
Yes, providing any agent personnel investigative as well as any forensic, but since we've opened our own investigation, that's we can use all of our resources in that way.
Am I remembering right, $25,000, 10 from the city, 10 from the mayor, or 10 from the city council, 10 mayor, 5 from the rep? Is there $1,000 from Crime Stoppers?
That is correct. Crime Stoppers announced, I believe, right before the noon hour, their maximum reward amount is $1,000. So again, we would just encourage people. This is our town. This is our community. And we've seen the effect that it has had on our town. I cannot imagine being the father of little Lily. I just can't. And to have your child in your hands under such circumstances is going to live with that father for the rest of his life. So I thank, again, the media for your help, your assistance. I say this. We would not be where we are right now, today, in this investigation, if you would not have done what you did last night. So thank you again.
Chief,
Thanks.
can we ask you, there are some fake GoFundMe accounts that it appears that have been, that's a real one, but there's been a fake that we saw on our website. Are you all going to be investigating that? Because would that be fraud?
Well, I'm looking at Carol Lee, and I think that would fall under federal jurisdiction. That's something that once we're done here, that's something that we'll talk about.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.